Welcome to Around the Peninsula. I'm Army Sergeant Jessica Cook. We all know how important training is to keep soldiers proficient in their job specialty. Specialist Allie Cooley has the story of how one air defense unit uses competition to enhance unit readiness.
Slap it, then you're ready.
In order to maintain the ability to protect the Korean Peninsula from enemy aircraft, Echo Battery, 6th Battalion, 52nd Air Defense soldiers constantly train on and maintain their equipment.
It's critical for our readiness here, because if all we did is come here with our knowledge from AIT and we didn't do any training, those skills, they get rusty if you don't use them, on a regular basis.
The unit does this in a number of ways.
Practice round.
The most exciting is their yearly Stinger competition.
The purpose of the Stinger competition is to basically show off your skills and, in a way, perfect your skills as an air defender.
Preparation for this event includes up and downloading weapons, firing missiles manually, and visual aircraft recognition. It not only prepares them for the competition, but for real-life scenarios.
So this competition keeps us on our toes, it keeps us prepared.
The training also helps make sure their equipment is maintained and fully operational.
The oldest and the most hard to procure and maintain are vendors, but with this battery always training and always using their equipment, it gives it the opportunity to go through the actual process of its systems, and we are able to maintain them in an operator readiness rating of above 95% at all times.
Just one of the many advantages of this intense year-long training. Specialist Allie Cooley, Camp Casey, Korea.
The last phase of the Stinger competition is the fight for the top gunner at Nightmare Range in May. The Army is known to fight wars on the ground, but this unit takes the fight to the skies. Air Force Staff Sergeant Lucas Morrow has more.
You might remember these things lined across the flight line when you first landed in Korea. They're Patriot Missiles, and their main purpose is to defend against attacks. Equipped with a sophisticated detection system, Patriot Missiles are what leaders call a huge asset to the defense of Korea.
And this gets right at the heart of what the 8th Army Commanding General is asking us to do in preparing our forces to be able to fight at a moment's notice.
Here at Suwon Air Base, South Korea, air defense artillery soldiers are in the middle of an exercise.
Even before this, I think we were prepared to execute that mission, and this exercise is to validate that proficiency.
So all of our launches are remotely controlled.
I had a chance to get a closer look at how the Patriot Missiles here on the field work.
The whole crew has full accountability of all personnel downrange. The main importance for us is literally we are the first line of defense when it comes to any engagements and intercepting these missiles. The canisters that we have here on the ground, as well as
sounds easy, but soldiers agree that this job comes with serious responsibilities.
Better train to be proficient at your job, because you're dependent on by a lot more people than you know.
Air Force Staff Sergeant Lucas Morrow, Suwon Air Base, Korea.
The 5-day exercise is evaluated by several soldiers from the entire Pacific region. The Provost Marshal Office is the backbone of law enforcement on military installations. Army Sergeant Carlos Gonzalez reports on the military police on Camp Mujik.
The Provost Marshal Office at Camp Mujik is composed by a few and proud Marines.
My favorite part of the assignment here is that it is tiny. All the MPs trust each other with their lives. There's only 4 of them, so you have a lot more responsibilities. So to have those responsibilities as a corporal is a huge honor and a huge sacrifice.
The MPs at Camp Mujik have many responsibilities and perform various operations on a daily basis.
We do background checks. We register all personnel, all military and non-military that need access to an installation. Vehicle passes, registration, doing the paperwork once we have the blotters, logs, we check the paperwork, the security patrolling around the base. Although they patrol the base and provide physical security, these Marines also conduct a non-traditional job. Every time you leave a country, you come into Newport, either by aircraft or by boat, customs needs to be done there. My MPs are certified, so what we do is we do it here through us. Military personnel checks them. So we check their bags, check to see what they're bringing, make sure they don't bring anything that's contraband, to include, drugs or any type of weapons that are not allowed. And also, too, to keep a track of inbound and outbound personnel.
I'm Army Sergeant Carlos Gonzalez, Camp Mujik, Korea.
The Camp Mujik MPs also provide training to the Korean National Security Guards. The Best Warrior competition challenges a soldier's skills and knowledge as they contend with other soldiers. Senior Airman Patriot Metzger shows us what these soldiers faced to come out on top.
Strength.
30 seconds remain.
Hard work. Determination. Important qualities for anyone who wants to be considered the best.
This is a true test of endurance here.
They're also important qualities if you want to finish the 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade's Best Warrior of the Year competition.
Got the heart of a lion now.
Just keep thinking one foot in front of the other, man. Let me get down to this part of the last stretch.
And they had several events starting with a record PT test this morning. So they went right into a written test while they were eating chow, and then went into their common task where they were challenged on 5 different things. Then they were followed up with doing rifle qualification with an M16.
Now, imagine doing a 12-mile ruck march in the middle of it all.
No! What are you doing? I have 13 minutes to finish this competition. I'm on my final stretch. I can't feel anything.
The most important part of the whole event?
And the way I look at it is if you did your best, like even if I wouldn't have, passed one of the events, as long as I knew I did my best and I prepared as much as I could, then I don't have any regrets.
All the hard work, the preparation, the sweat, it's what makes a warrior participating in an event like this special. Senior Airman Patriot Metzger, Camp Humphreys, Korea.
Specialist Justin Volkmuth placed first for Camp Humphreys and will be moving on to the division level competition held at Camp Casey in April. Women's History Month is recognized during the month of March. Army Sergeant Jared Spinner leads us into an observance celebrating women.
Service members and civilians were all invited to the Women's History Month observance at the Arnart Bar and Grill to celebrate and honor the rights and opportunities they have achieved through history.
I think that women bring diversity, women bring difference, and diversity is something that needs to be celebrated. It's what makes us special, it's what makes us strong as a country, as a nation, and it is right and it is good.
General McDonald gave a motivational speech about how she excelled as a woman in the military.
Well, I learned several things from hardship. It makes us stronger, and I think probably my 3 principles, which were words matter, and you've got to watch them carefully, and you've got to make them count for the good.
Attendees were impressed by General McDonald's speech.
Today's ceremony was truly inspirational. That was the best ceremony here so far. Everything from poems to the guest speaker, it really touched me.
General McDonald is the 2nd woman graduate from the United States Military Academy to be promoted to general officer rank. Army Sergeant Jared Spinner, Yongsan, Korea.
The 501st Military Intelligence Brigade hosted the 2012 Women's History Month observance on Yongsan. And finally tonight, approximately 3 years ago, an Easter egg hunt at Camp Casey would have looked like a bunch of soldiers marching through a land navigation course. But Army Sergeant Kelly Anderson explains how a quiet Sunday afternoon is now a family event for the entire community.
The 2012 Easter Extravaganza at Camp Casey kicked off at noon. But with more than 100 eager children in the area and the Easter Bunny on site, the Cary Field was packed with soldiers and families well before the start time.
It shows that the spouses and the children that are command sponsored, that there are events here that will benefit them to show that they're part of the community.
During the last few years, the community has steadily increased with command-sponsored families. So with the normalized tour at Camp Casey, there are activities like this Easter egg hunt for children to enjoy.
I think it's great to have events like this to bring the community together and to give the kids a little taste at home. Yeah.
Actually, it was more than just a little taste, with a huge air-filled slide and a bouncy house.
I honestly think that the children benefit the most out of this because how often do you think they have events like this for children, besides going to school? And
with more and more families coming to the area, we'll continue to see events like the 1st Brigade Easter Extravaganza. Army Sergeant Kelly Anderson, Camp Casey, Korea.
The 1st Brigade Combat Team Easter Extravaganza is an annual event at Camp Casey. That was your Around the Peninsula for Thursday, April 12th. From all of us at AFN, enjoy your evening.